Shalom. All glory, praises, and honor is due to Yahweh. Barashem Yahushai, Barashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and teachers of Great Millstone, and the like-minded men who may not be directly part of Great Millstone, but do push the exact same 144% truth, the same doctrine. Yeah. Salutations to the elect, Akim, and the Akwath of the house of David, Tabernacle of David. That's the men, women, and children also of the house of David. Shalom to the elect. Lord's will, today I'm going to quickly just go through this piece of information that I watched this morning on Odyssey, of a channel that's banned on YouTube. So Lord, well, we'll see if they put a strike on it, but I'm going to put it out anyway. So I'll start with the scriptures. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And, you know, so I'm going to got this video here. I'm just going to quickly get another scripture, Lord's will. Isaiah 25. And 7. So it's Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And this is what we're seeing right now. This piece of information that I've got here from this professor who was interviewed on Going Underground. It's just basically showing that is one small example of the fact that the veil, the covering cast, is being of Esau's lies and deception and wickedness and, you know, deceit is basically is being removed, plain and simple. Yeah. There's a few descriptions there. I want to go into the word definition. Cast. Yeah.
Strong's H3874.
Cast.
Loot.
To wrap closely or tightly.
Loot.
Loot. To wrap closely or tightly envelope. To wrap tightly, to envelope, wrap. To cast. Yeah. So what Esau's lies is enveloped, wrapped around this world and this society for for a few hundred years now, from the Renaissance. Yeah, from he was loosed out of that bottomless pit. Yeah, from the Renaissance up until this day, to the beast, the creation of the beast, and NATO and the EU, all of it. But now that covering cast is being removed, that veil. Yeah, it's been removed by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And so what the video I'm going to pull up next is just one small example of it. Oh, it's like here. It's a linear. Cast. That's the word I want. Cast. No, what are they on? Covering. Oh, similar word. Yeah, veil. So it's like so covering, a veil, a covering. Yeah.
Strong's H3875. Loat. Loat.
So that veil that covered the whole world, that enveloped the whole world, is being removed by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the nations are moaning. And you got these type of people moaning too. Just play this. So as you can see,
the world, the Western media, instead of cheerleading the war, like what I would imagine from their narratives that this is what BBC would be doing, that North Korea would be something like the BBC today and CNN today. When you watch them, it's just it's just disgusting. They're just cheerleaders for war. But when the war on Iraq was taking place, they were cheerleading the occupation. Shock and awe wasn't a bad thing back then. When chemical weapons were being given to Saddam to use against Iranians, and the city of Halabja, where in one attack, 6,000, 6,500, 5,500 people were massacred, they were silent about it. So this shows...
The Pentagon denies, obviously, biowarfare, and those kind of comparisons with the atrocities committed alleged atrocities committed by NATO powers is seen as whataboutery. Just quickly, I need to go to Turkey, where, of course, there was this...
So the man's just basically exposing Esau's hypocrisy. Yeah? The hypocrisy of Esau. Let me just go to Job. Does Esau do something, but then when it's done by another group or another people, oh, no, they'll cook up uproar, but they'll do it. They went into Yugoslavia, bomb Yugoslavia. Yeah, but nobody said anything about it because it was them, NATO, the beast, you know. So Job 20:5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Esau's an hypocrite, but his joy is coming to an end. Yeah, it's coming to an end. That little season that he was given, loose little season, I think it's Revelation 20. Yeah, it's like if I'm wrong. Yeah, it says Revelation 20 that it should be loosed a little season to deceive the whole world. Yeah, it's the end for Esau, Edom. Yeah, and the nations, but it's possible to ask, said they can't see it. Psalms 49:11. The inward thoughts of their houses shall continue to forever. They call unto all generations. They call their lands after their own names. But Psalms 49:11. They think they're going to go on forever. But I was going to continue with this. Job 20:6. I'm going down to 7 because scripture's heavy. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, you know, they've gone into space. They think they are the Most High. That, you know, Ezekiel 28:1. Yeah, they're acting like as if they are the Most High. Yeah, 2 Thessalonians. His heavens and his head reach unto the clouds. You know, they've got planes and all this type of thing. Yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. That's like a piece of poop that you just put down the toilet. Do you know what I mean? They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Heavy. The eye also 9. Job 20. I didn't intend to do this, but this is heavy duty scriptures. Job 20:9. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. And that's it. It's going to be finished. And we're in that time. This is the beginning of the end for Esau, Edom, and these nations in their wicked rulership. Yeah. Let's continue with this.
Chemical weapons. If it was an ideal world, the Western media, instead of cheerleading the war, like what I would imagine from their narratives that this is what BBC would be doing, that North Korea would be something like the BBC today and CNN today. When you watch them, it's just disgusting. They're just cheerleaders.
I'm just going to play this now because I can't fast forward it. I don't think I can. So I'm going to play this now, and then Lord's will just finish it off with some scriptures. Yeah.
6,000, 6,500, 5,000. They were silent about it. So this shows.
The Pentagon denies, obviously, biowarfare, and those kind of comparisons with the atrocities committed alleged atrocities committed by NATO powers is seen as whataboutery. Just quickly, I need to go to Turkey, where, of course, there was this extraordinary meeting between foreign ministers. It didn't seem to be peace negotiations. What do you think about Turkey's position, given it's a NATO member and Russia can switch off its S-400 system at a...
we're seeing here, yeah, is that Esau's being made bare. Jeremiah 49. You know, the man's talking about Esau's hypocrisy, about NATO specifically in Babylon. NATO, the beast hypocrisy specifically, yeah. But we're talking here about Esau, Edom in general, because all Edomites are basically the same. They're the wicked the Bible speaks of. But I have made, Jeremiah 49 and 10, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. And there'll be a time that Esau will, like we just read in Job 20, that he'll be Obadiah 118. You know, we're not going to see this man no more. Simple as that. But for now, we're just got to let the prophecies ride out. Lord's will, you know, we deal with each day as it comes. We've not promised anything at all. So Matthew 6 and 34. There's enough evils in today. So why think of tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Just to paraphrase that, Matthew 6 and 34. And see what Yahushua said. Let me get this one and I'll finish it off with the video. Obadiah. And then one more scripture after the video. Obadiah. It's tempting to read it all, but what did I want? I just wanted two really, but I'm going to go down to because behold, I've made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And this is what we're seeing. We see in Esau, Edom, specifically Babylon, NATO, and the EU, the beast system, being despised around the world. From what, you know, this small action in Ukraine has shown the hypocrisy of E. Yeah, it's showing his hypocrisy all to the whole world. You know, there's plenty of videos about how the people who weren't Ukrainian were treated at the border and everything like that. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to get lost. I'm not going to get sidetracked. I was tempted to read the scriptures, but yeah, I'm going to read this again. If not read Obadiah, it's a heavy 21 verses long. One of the heaviest, you know, it's a good read. It's a good read. One of my favourite scriptures concerning Esau, Edom. Yeah. So I'm going to continue about the video and then finish it off.
Constantly shifting his position.
Yeah. So okay, then finish it off with a scripture. The last one, what Yahushua's words.
He's friends with the Syrian president, and they go out with their families together. The next day, he's assisting ISIS and Al Qaeda to destroy the country and to overthrow the Syrian government. But now, basically, what the Turkish government has done is that they've destroyed their credibility across the globe. No one trusts President Erdogan, whether it's Ukraine or Russia or NATO or even the Israeli regime or regional countries.
Just very briefly, I mean, obviously we invite the Turkish ambassador on. I just got to briefly ask you about Syria, because there are reports of Islamists previously supported and linked to NATO governments. What is the latest you're hearing about the bombing of Damascus, one of the oldest inhabited cities of the world, just this week by UK, US, EU nation-armed Israeli warplanes?
Well, when the Israeli regime bombs Damascus, they are violating international law, but in the Western media it's fine.
Look, again, Esau's hypocrisy, you know? The hypocrisy. The guy said in the Western...
Ukraine, advisors are helping keep the Saudi Air Force afloat. We don't hear that in the media. These cheerleaders on the BBC and CNN and elsewhere are silent about that. It's utterly racist. But When it comes to Syria, I think one of the interesting things is that, first of all, these are not Islamists, just as the neo-Nazis and the Nazis in Europe are not Christian. These are extremist groups that are used as tools by Western powers, by the Israelis, by Erdogan, by NATO, and by oil-rich despots in the region that have been allies of the United States, just as the neo-Nazis are being used, and just as the Contra rebels were being used against the Nicaraguans. The Americans and the Europeans use these extremists because it's like shock and awe. It's like in Iraq. The Americans were proud of shock and awe. What was shock and awe? It was to create fear among ordinary Iranians. It was to make Iraqis in awe of American might, which is utterly barbaric. That's why they use extremists in Syria. That's why they use extremists in Europe. That's why they use extremists in the global south.
Obviously, Washington and Brussels denies that. Professor Mohamed Barandi, thank you.
Right, I just thought, yeah, Script's got to use this one before I finish it off with what Yahushua said. You know what, I'm going to use my There we are. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. The man was talking about Esau's hypocrisy, how he's basically been revealed. Yeah, he's just a liar, a thief, and a murderer. That's it, really. So let me read this quick two verses. Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. That's the Israelites falling away from our heritage. So Jeremiah 17:4.